Hi guys, so in today's video I just want to talk about skincare, just because recently I went to an event and one of the other ladies there just out of the blue said what good condition my skin is in and how good my skin looks, which no one's ever said that before. They have said that I look young for my age, but no one's commented on my skin. I just thought my skin was normal, nothing special, so kind of thought, well, I'll do a video on my skincare. There's nothing fancy, there's no ad here, I'm not promoting any products. It's just very simple routine skincare that anybody can do. The first thing is, when it comes to washing my face, I always use specific soaps or washes that are specific to the face and not just for the body, because sometimes the ones we use on our body can have a lot of perfume in it and it's a lot stronger and it can irritate your face. Also, you want to take in consideration whether your skin type is greasy or dry, so you get the product according to that, because if your skin is already greasy, you don't want a greasy product that's going to make it worse. And then also sometimes, because my skin is dry, sometimes I won't even use soap at all. I just wash it with warm water, just to kind of, sometimes I like to give my skin a break from products as well, so sometimes I just use warm water. Again, you want to make sure when you're using water it's not too hot or not too cold, just nice and warm. The other thing I like to do is to use a good moisturizer. So in the morning after I've had my shower and at night before I go to bed, I use a moisturizer, unless like in summer sometimes I don't, because your face is already quite greasy, so it doesn't need the extra moisturizer. Or sometimes in the morning, instead of moisturizer, I will use sun cream, and I will use sun cream on my face, on my chest and on my hands. But sometimes, again, I don't always do that because I don't like the smell of it, and sometimes it can be a bit too greasy. So you have to take into consideration how your skin is feeling on a particular day, because some days it can feel more greasy, some days it can feel more dry. So just take that into consideration. The other thing I would say is, buy the product, the most expensive product that you can afford, because the cheaper stuff, although it's cheap, perhaps it doesn't even last as long as the more expensive, so you have to buy more of it and it's not actually saving your money. And also the amount of rubbish and chemicals and all that kind of stuff perhaps is doing more damage to your skin than you know. So always go for the most expensive product that you can afford. The other thing is, when it comes to your makeup remover, be careful which you use as well, because one time I was getting really bad skin on my face around here, and I just took it that it was my makeup, so I stopped using it and it got better. So I was like, yes, it must be the makeup. But then I started a different type of makeup and it was doing the same thing. So then it dawned on me, it only feels irritated when I take the makeup off. So it turned out it was actually the makeup wipes that were irritating me and not the actual makeup. So you want to take that into consideration. If you have any kind of irritation, perhaps it's not the product that you automatically assume that it is. So that's one thing to consider. The other thing is, I've tried to like stop using so many products, because it's such a big industry now that they say you need a product for this, for this, for that, and we can sometimes overwhelm our skin by applying too much. So I try to use as minimal stuff as possible, because I noticed a lot of times when I use so many different products, my skin just feels irritated and it's not happy. So I think you have to allow your skin time to breathe as well. So that's another thing to consider. And also make sure you get enough vitamin D, so from the sun. If you're not in a sunny place, perhaps take some vitamins with vitamin D, but always consult with your doctor first, because you don't want it to interfere with anything else. But I did notice when I lack vitamin D, the skin under my eyes is a lot more black than normal. And then when I sit in the sun for a bit, obviously you don't want to overdo it and burn yourself and ruin your skin with the sun, but just for a short period, just to kind of get enough vitamin D, and I feel like that clears it up right away. So that's another thing. Obviously, drinking plenty of water. You can't go wrong with just that basic skincare tip. Make sure you get plenty of fluids, and just notice what you're putting into your body, how it makes you feel. Is some people, when they eat chocolate, it brings them out in spots, so just take into consideration if after you eat anything, if your skin goes a little bit weird, and perhaps try and limit the amount you eat or eat less. And then the other thing you have to take into account is sometimes people just have better skin because it's their genes. There's nothing you can do about that. It's just what you're born with. But we can just kind of improve our daily habits and try and take care of ourselves as much as possible. The other thing is just to take care with what makeup you use. And once a week I like to have a makeup free day, just to give my face time to breathe and just, you know, have a break from all this makeup that we plonk on. And on that day, usually it's like a Sunday or something, I usually do a nice face mask and just, you know, have a little bit of pampering. So again, try to pick a face mask that goes with what you need in your skin. The other thing is, when it comes to like vitamins, you know, the vitamin field is not regulated like medicine, so who knows what's going on there. I really recommend you speak to a doctor before you start taking vitamins and find out exactly what you're lacking and get that specific vitamin, rather than taking these multivitamins, because a lot of the times when you take the multivitamins, one vitamin may cancel out the other or something like that. So just when it comes to things like that, speak to a professional and really learn about what you're taking. And because today we're in the age where we supplement everything, and you know, I try to just get as much clean stuff in my body from foods and things like that, rather than trying to supplement it with some kind of shake or a vitamin or this and that, because who knows what they've put into it and what you're putting in your body. So before you take in these kind of things, instead of just going on by people saying, oh, it's great, it works for me, just really talk to a medical professional who knows what they're talking about and who can advise you what you really need and what you don't need more of. So yeah, I think that's about it. Like I said, there's no specific thing that I do. It's very basic, my skincare, and I think sometimes the more basic you do things, the better. So when, like I said, when you use too many products and you clog yourself up with who knows what, just let your skin breathe. Only use what you really need to do, and then, you know, you see how you feel when doing different things, see how your skin reacts, and modify it like that. I do use lotion every morning on my body. I do get a lot of dry skin and I do get eczema, so I have to be very careful with the products I use. So I try to keep to as natural products as I can, which is not always possible because nowadays they're so expensive, and even things that claim to be natural, when you read the ingredients, there's all kinds of things in it. So, you know, you have to be careful with that. The other thing I do in the morning is a dry brush. I use a dry brush and brush my skin. So I don't know if you've heard of that, but basically, I'll show you. I have this, and I brush my skin in the morning before I go in the shower, and if I'm honest, this has really showed an improvement in my cellulite. I have tried pretty much every single treatment out there that's not like surgical, no surgical treatments, but every cream and everything that people suggest. I've worked out on my legs and my bum so much. My bum, if I tense it, it's like hard as a rock, and it's still got cellulite. So exercise doesn't always help, like people say. The creams, nothing. I've done this now, and I've noticed a significant difference. So if you suffer with cellulite, then I recommend you get a brush like this and just try it and see how it feels. So yeah, those are all my tips. Like I said, they're very simple, they're very straightforward, they're very cost effective. There's nothing, no expensive products that I've mentioned that I use or anything. I like simple methods, and I like to keep things basic. So if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.